What's up, everyone? This is Nate, and welcome to episode 2 of my Blu-ray collection. We're just going through all my movies. Last episode, I showed you all my box sets. This one, I'm going to be going through all my Criterion movies. So, I don't buy... Okay, I have quite a few Criterion movies, but I don't buy them all the time. I usually wait for them to go on sale because typically new release right away, if like on Amazon, they're usually like $28. And on their site and stuff, they're closer to like, they're in the 30s usually. But every July and November, Barnes & Noble does a Criterion sale where they're all 50% off. So they all come out to like 20 bucks. So once they hit 20, I hit that sale hard usually. So everything I have purchased over the last like 2 years of going to those sales, like those twice a year sales. So I'm just gonna go through the ones I have and explain a little bit about them, why I got them, things like that. But I tend to stick with directors I really like, or if I'm trying to like find out about a director that I might like, I'll buy one, like I'll blind buy it. So a few of these are blind buys, like I've never seen it, but I know I like their work. And the thing with Criterion is they're usually a little more like artsy movies. Not always, they do have some, you know, not that, but there's some kind of historical relevance when they put a movie out. So, you know, you're not gonna see a lot of like B movies or like a ton of action movies, but they do sci-fi, they do some horror, but usually like more highbrow. So there's not gonna be a Friday the 13th Criterion, unfortunately, anytime soon, or like Halloween, although I think it'd be awesome. So anyway, let's get to it. So first I have Dressed to Kill. This is Brian De Palma. I've not seen this one yet, but I love Brian De Palma, so I bought it. Gonna be watching that one soon. Sisters, which is also Brian De Palma, which also I've never seen before. So the cool thing about Criterion too is it tells you right here the year it was released. So this movie was 1973. Dressed to Kill was 1980. So these are a little bit older. Looking forward to getting into those. Next is Blood Simple. So this is a Coen Brothers movie. When you think Coen Brothers, most people probably don't think Blood Simple. They think like, oh brother, where art thou, and Fargo and things like that. So this was actually from 1984. So it's a little bit older. Haven't seen it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. And again, I love Criterion. Like I love the art that they put on their cases. I just think they look better than most other Blu-ray like artwork. Next is from 1962. It's called Carnival of Souls. Another one I haven't watched yet, but it's like an old black and white horror film. But I have a feeling, well, it's only 78 minutes, so I have a feeling it's gonna be kind of weird. I've seen like trailers for it and stuff, and I was like, when that sale comes, I'm gonna get it. So looking forward to watching that one. And I'm gonna let y'all know, there's a lot of these I haven't seen yet. So, but I've got them in order so that I could see them. The Man Who Knew Too Much. Now, this is pretty cool. This is a 1934 version. Alfred Hitchcock movie. He remade this movie called, and it had the same name, The Man Who Knew Too Much, with James Stewart, which I actually did review in my Hitchcock box set. I haven't seen this version. This is the original version from England, 1934, like I said. So really looking forward to seeing like the differences because I really enjoyed that movie. Next, The Age of Innocence. This is a Martin Scorsese movie. So I saw Scorsese's name and I said, buying. Also, it stars Daniel Day-Lewis. So, I mean, Gangs of New York they did together. Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer's in it, Winona Ryder. Haven't seen it yet, but looking forward to checking that one out. Next movie I have seen, finally, the first one I've seen, The Graduate. This is a classic Dustin Hoffman movie, 1967. Yeah, if you haven't seen The Graduate, I mean, you should. It's a really good movie. Okay, the next two are Hitchcock movies that I haven't seen yet. So Hitchcock is a director I love. I said I watched all the box set House of Hitchcock movies. I've seen one of these Criterions. I have 4 Hitchcock movies on Criterion, and I have some other Blu-rays, but I haven't seen this one yet. This is the 39 Steps. So this is from 1935. A heart racing spy story. I've sold. I said, okay, Hitchcock and a heart racing spy story. Now, this is 1935, so I have a feeling it's not gonna be that heart racing to me from like, you know, modern movies, but his movies are always good, so I'm looking forward to watching that one. And this one I'm really looking forward to watching. Notorious. This is another Hitchcock movie, 1946. Yeah, it stars Cary Grant, Claude Rains, Ingrid Bergman. So a lot of like the old Hollywood kind of heavyweights are in this one. So I'm really looking forward to watching that. Next, I have seen this one, Rosemary's Baby, Roman Polanski, 1968. Yeah, this is a classic horror film. Mia Farrow's in it. If you haven't seen this one, there's another one. Like by this point, if you like horror movies, you should have seen Rosemary's Baby. And if you don't, you should still have seen Rosemary's Baby because it's a good movie. All right, next, this one I've been dying to watch. 12 Angry Men. This is a Sidney Lumet movie from 1957. My mom told me I need to watch it. I like Sidney Lumet. I have a few of his movies. I just never have seen this one, but everything I read says it's amazing, and my mom says it's amazing. And she does, and Daniel thinks it's amazing. He's behind the camera and says, I love this movie too. So yeah, definitely looking forward to checking this one out. Okay, another horror film. This is called Don't Look Now from 1973. This stars Donald Sutherland, his dad. Donald Sutherland and Julie Christie, parents, they lose their child, and it's like mysterious. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm somewhat familiar with it, so I'm looking forward to checking that one out. Okay, this one is a Michael Mann movie. So Michael Mann, director of Heat, bunch of movies, Collateral. I like Michael Mann's style a lot, so I haven't seen this one. This is from 1981. So it's one of his earlier films, stars James Caan. I love James Caan. I love Michael Mann. And I love Thieves. So I'm looking forward to checking out Thief here soon. Now, I don't know how to pronounce this one. I think it's Kagemusha. It's Japanese. This is Akira Kurosawa, who is one of the best directors of all time. I've only seen one of his movies. I know he's one of the best because I've read about him, and I'm slowly picking up, kind of like Hitchcock, I'm slowly kind of picking up some of his movies, but this is from 1980, so this is one of his later movies, actually, and we'll get to the one I have watched soon here, but Seven Samurai, I think, is like his most famous movie, and it was remade, of course, to The Magnificent Seven in the US as a Western, but looking forward to checking this one out. Is it long? It's long, it's 3 hours, so that's why I haven't gotten to it yet. All right, this was a new movie that I haven't seen that just recently came out. This is from 2018. It's called Wildlife. It stars Jake Gyllenhaal, Carey Mulligan, and actually was directed by Paul Dano, who's an actor. You might have seen him in like Swiss Army Man. He was also in There Will Be Blood. So he's upcoming in the new Batman movie. He's going to be playing Riddler. So he's an actor turned director, I guess, at least for this. And it was written by Paul Dano and Zoe Kazan. Zoe Kazan was in, she was the girl in The Big Sick, like the love interest. So actors writing and directing and good actors in it. So wanted to check it out. Pick that one up. Adam Sandler, which you'd not say, oh, wow, Adam Sandler's in a Criterion movie, but it's Punch Drunk Love, that's why. So it's Paul Thomas Anderson, and they allowed it in Criterion because of him, not because of Sandler, but 2002, it's a good movie. It's a really good movie. I still, like, I know a lot of people haven't seen it, like, casual kind of like Adam Sandler fans, so if you want to see him in a different role that's not like a silly character or a comedy, this is a really good one to check out. Okay, Francis Ford Coppola, Rumblefish. Now, this was one of two adaptations he did of S.E. Hinton novels. The first one was The Outsiders, and then he did Rumblefish, 1983. That's Matt Dillon right there. So he was also in The Outsiders. I haven't seen this yet. I know it's in black and white. I've heard this is the better movie. I know a lot of people like The Outsiders, but I'm not crazy about The Outsiders. I think it's just okay. I think it's okay, but I've heard this is actually better. So Criterion agrees. They put out Rumblefish. They did not put out The Outsiders. So there you go. Now this was one. This is new. I just picked this up. This is the Martin Scorsese short film collection. I think this only came out like last month. It includes 5 short films from 1974, 1978, 1967, 1964, and 1963. So 5 short films, and it looks like the shortest one is 5 minutes, and the longest one is 55 minutes. So none of them are over an hour. I cannot wait to watch this. Scorsese is one of my favorite directors, so kind of just going through his whole catalog of films. This is, stuff he made before he hit it big, so I want to check that out. This is a classic now. This one's a classic, no matter how you slice it. The Breakfast Club, Criterion Collection John Hughes, 80s movie, Emilio Estevez, Anthony Michael Hall. I always want to call him Anthony Michael Chad because of our podcast joke. It's not his name. Molly Ringwald. It's great. I don't know a lot of people who haven't seen The Breakfast Club. This is the opposite of some of these other movies. Like, this movie's amazing. It's great. My two newest ones that I got Jackie Chan, Police Story 1 and 2. So I haven't seen Police Story, but I've heard they're really awesome. Cool. The case, it comes out, you have the poster for Police Story 1, and you have the poster for Police Story 2, 1985 and 1988, and then you just open it up. You get another cool picture of Jackie Chan behind glass. Open it again, and this one has posters as well, and then there's the disc. So I'm looking forward to watching these. I love Jackie Chan. He's a great man. He does his own stunts, and this is when he was younger, so he's really out there, you know, probably doing there's probably some wild stuff in these movies, so I'm looking forward to it. And then, of course, another one, this just came out too, The War of the Worlds. So this is the original War of the Worlds, not the Steven Spielberg and Tom Cruise version. This is the 1953 version, 85 minutes long, perfect. Nice and short. I'm sure there's some cheesy effects and strings. I cannot wait to watch it. I've heard the transfer is great. They did like a 4K restoration on it, so it's gonna look incredible, and I'll be watching this one soon. All right, next up is another Sidney Lumet movie. I just watched this last week and reviewed it. It's called The Fugitive Kind, stars Marlon Brando, 1960. It was okay. I had never seen it, but again, I love Sidney Lumet, and I don't love Marlon Brando, but I'm kind of getting into some of his older stuff. He's great in it, but the movie was okay. Not my favorite. Three Outlaw Samurai. So this is gonna be this will be the only one that I have no idea much about it. It's a 1964 black and white samurai movie. I'm starting to get into, like, I feel like the older I get, the more I like samurais and like Western movies. So I didn't like them much when I was younger, but it was on sale, and I was like, yes, that has a cool cover. It has three samurai on it. So I bought it. I don't know the director, Hideo Gosha. I'm not familiar, but I'm looking forward to checking that one out. All right, here we go. This is good. So these are this one Kurosawa movie that I have seen is this one, and it's called Yojimbo. This movie was awesome, and this is the movie that made me want to start getting into Kurosawa's other movies. 1961, black and white. Oh my gosh, this was remade into a Western. I want to say it's either A Fistful of Dollars or For a Few Dollars More. One of them, a Clint Eastwood Western. This is like the original version. It is so good. It's like funny, and it's like a Western essentially. So it was great. And then I bought this a while ago, and then just the other day, I got the follow-up, which is called Sanjuro. So this one was 1961, this one's 1962. Has the same star, Toshiro Mifune? I don't know Japanese names that good, but it's one of those, and this is the follow-up to it. He's playing like the same role. This was also remade into the other of the, either A Fistful of Dollars or A Few Dollars More, whichever one Yojimbo is, this is the other one. So I cannot wait to watch this movie. It's probably great. I'm telling you, they're like really funny. He's great in them. Check those out if you haven't. And the packaging is cool. They look the same. They go together. So I have both of those. All right, now Hitchcock, Rebecca. This movie's great. This was the 1940 version. It was remade later, and it's being remade again. It's going to be on Netflix, as a matter of fact, starring Lily James. But this is the original Alfred Hitchcock version. Oh man, it's super good. Laurence Olivier is in it, and it's a mystery movie. Yeah, it's great. Black and white. Check that one out if you haven't seen it. Okay, this is another one. I think I've seen all the rest of the ones we're going to go through. So, this one I just recently watched too is Christopher Nolan's first film. It's called Following. This was 1999. So this was actually just before Memento. And it's only 70 minutes. It's black and white. And I did watch the special features on this, and he said he filmed it in like 10 and 15 minute increments over multiple weekends. It's so good. It's not quite because it's super low budget, it's not quite the production that he'd eventually reach, but story-wise, it's terrific, and it kind of sets up like, okay, if you see this, then you watch Memento, you'll be like, okay, I kind of get it. So it's non-linear, it's out of order, but it's super, super good. One of the best, and probably Guillermo del Toro's best movies, Pan's Labyrinth. I mean, I love Guillermo del Toro, and I feel like this is like his masterpiece. I don't know if he'll ever make another better movie. He's made great movies after, but this was 2006. It's in Spanish, but it's so worth it. If you haven't seen Pan's Labyrinth, you're missing out. Another Guillermo del Toro, The Devil's Backbone, 2001, another Spanish language film. It's like a creepy ghost story. This kid look at him. He's in it. Yeah, it's really good. Check that one out as well if you haven't seen it. And the last, I have all three of the Del Toro Criterion movies. Cronos, this was 1993. So this was well before the other two. This was way early in his career. It's okay. It's in Spanish and English. And Ron Perlman's in it. So that's always fun. They worked together on Hellboy, and Ron Perlman was in Pacific Rim, Blade 2. It's like his go-to guy. So this is where they started together, and it's a vampire movie. It wasn't bad, but it's not my favorite. Okay, 1984. From 1984, 110 minutes. This is a really, I won't say weird, but it's interesting. The best part about it is the cinematography. Roger Deakins did the cinematography, and there's a lot of stuff in it that like inspired other like commercials and things that came straight from 1984. Yeah, it's good. It's a George Orwell novel. I had never read the book, but the movie's good, but it wasn't my favorite either. So, but I did like it. This is actually the first Criterion I ever got, and it's The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. It's the only one that comes in the blue case. This movie, when it first came out on Blu-ray, went straight to Criterion. So typically what you'll see is movies will come out on Blu-ray or DVD, and then eventually Criterion will do their own release of that movie. This is the only one I could think of that like initially right away was as far as a big studio movie that went to Criterion. So I love this movie. I know a lot of people are not crazy about it, but I love David Fincher. So yeah, Benjamin Button. That's why it looks different too, is because it just day and date. All right, now these last ones. Oh, and then one I recently got, The Great Escape, Steve McQueen, 1963. I'm looking forward to watching this. Once I saw, I've only ever seen one movie with Steve McQueen in it, and it was The Blob, the old one, the old Blob. And I've been kind of wanting to get into some of his stuff. I saw the scene in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with Leonardo DiCaprio where they like made him as if he was Steve McQueen in that role. I was like, well, now I want to see the original one. So once I heard Criterion was doing it, snatched it up on that sale. It's 172 minutes, so I will get to it eventually because it's a little long, but I'm looking forward to seeing it. Okay, the rest of these come in like kind of cool packaging. So first one, The Princess Bride. Classic. This is a classic. If you haven't seen The Princess Bride, I don't know what you are watching, but it should be The Princess Bride. The back, it just says, As You Wish, and then it's like a book, which is appropriate because the whole movie is based on a grandfather reading his grandson a story and then watching the story play out. So I love this. I love the case. I love the packaging on it. I love the movie. It's fantastic. Then I got Do the Right Thing, Spike Lee, 1989. This is a pretty cool one. Comes out like that, and you get the artwork of all the people. And then there's a big, thick book in this one for Do the Right Thing. So, and it's like an actual book. There's like a lot of information in here. So if you're the type that likes that, the special features and all the extras, Do the Right Thing is like probably one of the better Criterion sets because not only is the packaging really nice, but they also gave you an entire novel, apparently, about the making of the movie. Next. 1991, another classic, The Silence of the Lambs. I guess it's a horror movie. I don't think it's very scary, but, it's like a serial killer movie. So Hannibal Lecter, one of the greatest characters in the history of movies, Anthony Hopkins. There, that's how the case looks. This one also has a book. But yeah, I love The Silence of the Lambs. It's probably one of the best, if not the best serial killer movie. Jodie Foster is great in it. Anthony Hopkins is great in it. And I can't close it, so I'm just going to do this. Okay, next, Night of the Living Dead. This is the George A. Romero. This is the original, the zombie movie that started it all. 1968, black and white. Classic. This is a great movie. Cool art on the inside packaging. Yeah, I love this movie. I know some of the effects, obviously, you know, it's dated. It's super low budget. You know, they didn't make it with like a big budget or anything. So you got to take it for what it is, but it's a terrific movie. And the ending is like this. All right, last two. I have Godzilla. So this is the original 1954 black and white Godzilla. I watched this not that long ago and reviewed it. It was good. It's definitely dated, and it definitely doesn't look they cleaned it up as good as they could, but you know, there's like a lot of scratches on the film. It was like a lower budget film as well. There's a guy in a suit, so you know what you're getting. But I know Godzilla has a lot of fans. And yeah, it's a classic, so I had to get it. And then another recent one is Roma. So I got Roma, 2018, Alfonso Cuarón. This was a Netflix movie. And I guess Criterion, yeah, and this one comes with a thick book. So if you see a case that's like this, kind of with the paper or whatever, you're getting a book. And they're gonna put a book. But they have a deal with Netflix apparently, where they're gonna be releasing some of their movies. I have Marriage Story coming. I haven't gotten it yet. It's in the mail. I'm supposed to get it today as we're filming. But yeah, I picked up Roma. We reviewed this on the podcast. Brad he liked it but wasn't crazy about it. I think I liked it a little more. It's a tough movie to watch, but it's very good. It was Academy Award winner, so that tells you all you need to know. And they're also going to be putting out The Irishman, so I'll probably be picking that up because it's Scorsese. And that's it for my Criterion movies. Oh, I have the Bruce Lee box set. I showed you on the box set videos, but that's also Criterion, so 5 more you can add, and Marriage Story that I don't have yet, but I have it. So that's it for the Criterions. If you can, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Next video, I'm going to be going over some horror movies. So we're going to go with my Arrow video and my Scream Factory collection. So that should be a lot of fun. They are the Criterions of B movies and horror. They put out high releases for not the best stuff, but if you like horror, it's the best stuff. So I'll be going over that in the next one. Until then, see you next time.
The Nate in Nate books. Nate!